Thank you so much for allowing me to do this. I was really
For having me.
surprised. Apparently, this is your very first time to do a live stream ever.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm not really into the whole live stream thing. So like I was kind of confused. I felt like my grandparents on the phone. I was like, "Paano ba to? How do you I was like, okay, I'm like Gen Z. I should know how to do this. So I just
yeah.
figured it out. So I'm like, okay, we're here. We're here.
Is your dad gonna make it to try to join us?
I'm not sure he's at work right now.
I know. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning there in Guam, right?
Yeah, I almost didn't make it. My grandma woke me up.
Oh
My grandma
my
woke me up. She told me, she knocked on the door. She opened it. Huy, gumising ka na. And I was like,
god.
that's right.
Okay. Should we start?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Jenny. This is my voice, Clean Cash Voice. And today we have a very special guest, Zayer. Welcome,
Hi
welcome.
everyone.
Can kindly introduce yourself
Yeah.
to us?
Hi everyone. My name is Zahir. I am a 20-year-old R&B artist. My specialty is writing songs about my exes that will never love me back. But it's all good.
Okay. How did you start being, doing this thing that you're doing, like you're writing songs? Can you take us for a ride? Like, what inspired you to do that?
When I first dabbled into the whole music thing, I was about like 5 years old. I am Filipino, born in the Philippines, and I migrated here to Guam. Filipinos love music. We love karaoke. We love like performing arts. So when I was already like 5 years old, my mom would be telling me to dance in front of my auntie so they'll give me money. So that started it off, but I wasn't really a singer. I was like flail my arms around and dance, right? But that was my introduction to performing arts. And when I was a little bit older, like around 7 or 8, that's when I would hear every Sunday morning when moms would clean, my mom would sing. And she would always sing like OPM songs, like Regine Velasquez, Angeline Quinto. And I'm like, what is that? Like, huh? Like, I didn't know that existed, right? I'm 8 years old, obviously. So I would go to my mom, I would like try to learn the songs with her. And then my mom kind of found out, like, okay, this kid has an interest in singing. So let me try to like kind of coach him a little bit. So the coaching happened. My dad also tried to coach me. Since my family does come from a music background, my dad was in like a Filipino TV show back in the day called Gags Entertainment. So he has, yeah,
Okay, guys. Okay, hold that thought. Okay. Zaire is the son of Jiggy John, and Greg and my husband Greg and I really appreciate all the Filipino TikTokers who supported Clean Cash way back when, and his dad Jiggity John is still like a big supporter of Clean Catch. So that's how I got to know Zaire because I remember there was this one song. Was it Smile or Stay? This was like
what,
last year.
last year it was oh, it will stay. It will stay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we Greg and I actually promoted it here last year, and that's how I got to know you. It's really cool. But go back to what you were saying about I didn't know this that John was actually part of Vast Entertainment in the
Yeah.
Philippines.
Yeah, so since my parents like have that experience, they were trying to like kind of they weren't trying to push me so much because they didn't want me to like burn out at a young age. So they're slowly introducing me here, like, oh, try this, try singing this song. How about this song? Do you like this song? And then the more I got older, the more my interest peaked. So when I was 10 years old, I was super into Bruno Mars at the time. Super into Bruno Mars. So this is when the song Treasure came out. I would always sing it at 10 years old. And my mom was like, you need to perform one time. And I was scared to death. Scared to death. And I did it anyways, and I felt the love from the crowd, and that really sparked something in me to be like, I think I got something here. So let me try it out.
Okay, so you mentioned, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? So you were born in the Philippines and then you guys moved to Guam when you were 5?
We moved to Guam when I was 2 years old.
Oh, when you're 2. Okay. So what was it like? I mean, you can't really remember anything that much, that young, but do you have like bits and pieces of what you remember, what it was like in the Philippines before you guys moved to Guam?
Kind of. I remember going to the mall a lot when I was a baby. We went, I think we went to Mega Mall, SM Mega Mall. That's one of the things I remember. And my mom would just like carry me. She had like the backpack thing because I was a big kid. I'm still a big dude now, but I was a big kid. So she carried me in the little backpack and I was just there like, whoa, this is cool. That's the only thing I really remember.
Okay, so now that you're there in Guam, what was it like growing up in Guam?
It was kind of weird to be honest. A lot of my early childhood I was kind of lost only because like I didn't really understand English yet. I had to learn English, so that was a little bit of a struggle. I had an accent, so like because you always kind of make fun of me for having the Filipino accent. But other than that, I pretty much had a pretty fun childhood, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so like when you started going to school, was it when you already started like letting, like your talent out about like singing, or is that something that eventually showed up like as you're getting older?
It showed up around like my fourth when I was in fourth grade.
Mhm.
That's when I wanted to actually try to sing and not just like dance in front of my aunties anymore. So it was around fourth grade to fifth grade where I really like, okay, let me lock in and let me try to practice for like potentially my first performance.
So do you like perform at school, like when there's like activities at school, like programs at school?
Yeah, they always hit me up. They're always like, you need to perform, you need to perform, you need to perform. So like my early career before I even started releasing music was me performing at like parties, fiestas, even like later on when I got older, like sweet 16s, like 18th birthday parties, and even like school events, like anything that people needed a entertainment for, they always hit me up. So it definitely honed my music skills early on since I was so like pushed into that gigging scene that it kind of forced me to become a better live singer and a performer.
Do you see that one who just gave you a gift, Ali Mirna?
Oh, thank you.
She's a good friend of mine. I actually told her that I'm gonna be interviewing you. She's big here on TikTok.
Hello, Alan Mirna.
Okay, so like when you okay, but right now, how many songs have you actually launched?
That's crazy that I don't know off the top of my head. I believe either 6 or 7. I always lose count, but 6 or 7.
So all of them are available on Spotify.
Yes, every streaming platform that you can imagine, it is on there.
So what was the very first song? Marunong siya mag-Tagalog. Pero lumaki kasi siya sa Guam. Sabi ni ate, ay hirap ng English. Okay, what was the very first song that you actually launched?
Officially launched. Okay, I have. Okay, when I first started out actually releasing music, I went by my real government name, which is like which was Hans Mercado, and then around my sophomore year, that's when I became Zahir. But my first ever song was called Daydream, and I was a freshman in high school. This is not even on Spotify. This is how much I have a love hate relationship with this song. But it was my freshman year. I had this huge crush on this girl in my high school, and this is like that puppy love thing. So I didn't want to talk to her. I just like stared from afar, like,
Your dad's you.
"What's up, Dad?"
Okay, go ahead.
So I wanted to kind of since I was so scared to talk to her, I just decided I'm just gonna write a song about her, and then maybe one day she'll just like magically fall in love with me, right? I'm like kid, so like I don't know any better, but that started my music career because I started showing people like, hey, do you want to hear this song or what about my crush? And then they're like, okay, weird, but go on. I would show them, and it would kind of make me a little bit more popular because people were like, not gonna lie, this is actually a pretty good song. So it caught one of the attention of my friends, Jenna, who is actually friends with one of a radio DJ here in Guam. That's her uncle. So she showed him, and he was amazed. So he got me on one of the radio shows there, recorded the song, and that's when I debuted. And it just went crazy. Like, I would go to like the nearest grocery store, I would hear my song playing, and I'm like, my 14-year-old self is like, whoa, that's crazy. But yeah, that was my first song I ever released already, like, gave me a kickstart to my career. It's crazy.
Can you hear us like a short part of that song? The day was Daydream?
Yeah.
Daydreaming?
Yeah. I can grab my guitar. I can show you actually.
Yes, please. Yes, guys, he knows how to play the guitar too. Thank you guys for being here.
Where is my capo? Okay. So my evolution of songwriting is so weird because back then I was super into like the super poppy songs. So it went something like this. This is so cringe for me. I didn't expect for someone like you to pass by without you right back. Sometimes when you open it back, once again I fall in. At this point, you'll be in mine. Daydream. Cause I think about you all day long, 24/7, all day long. Daydream. Cause I think you like mine, let me see. And I think about you endlessly. No, no, no. It went something like that. Oh my god, that was so weird. That was so weird. Ah, I'm like cringing.
Ate ba ang galing, guys? So, whatever happened to the girl?
Oh, she flat out rejected me. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Okay, so you said that was like when you were just in high school. What was the gap of time when when that song was released and then the next song?
Took me about maybe a year. A year, yeah. Because I didn't have any equipment and I didn't really have the resources to record. So we would go somewhere else. We went to Philippines to record my second song called Runaway, and that's like a reggae song. I personally don't like it, and my experience with recording that song was awful. So I kind of like deleted it out of my memory. But I've always had this like inconsistent release time because I didn't have the resources up until recently. So during my early career, I would only release a song like every year. But I'll put my whole heart into like the marketing and making sure everything does get sent out locally. So like everything from like print to like radio to TV to like even like circles, I will try my best to just be like, I'm an artist. Here's my song. Please listen. Yeah.
So, what is your biggest inspiration when it comes to like coming up with a new song? I mean, you did say that most of your songs are all about your exes.
Yeah, I could say that. When I was younger, most definitely in my early, maybe like I think I stopped writing about my exes around like last year. Last year. Now it's kind of going back to like, okay, let me write something I actually want to write about, which is like anything that comes off my head. But for sure, most of my songs that do come out, it is always about a specific person, like love life related.
When you dedicate or when you come up with a song that's mostly inspired by an ex, do they eventually like get back with you and say, "Hey, that sounded really familiar. Was that meant for me?" Have you ever had that kind of situation happen?
It's like you know my inside thoughts, but um, it's like you really know me. Wow, that's crazy. Uh, I never had the intention of getting back to them, but it's kind of showing them you messed up, so here. But if you want to, like, you know my number, so
Okay, that's but right now you're single.
sadly, yeah.
What do you mean sadly? I mean, what was like how long ago have you like you ended the previous relationship?
2021, so like 3 years ago.
Oh my gosh. So it's been yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, I mean, other than being inspired to create a song based off of your experience with your your dad, your dad is commenting there.
It's okay. As long as my mom is not here, we're okay.
Okay, so but right now, other than being inspired to write a song about your ex, other than that one, what else would you consider is your inspiration to come up with another song?
Most recently, my projects have been more personal. I recently came out with a song back in January called All in My Head, and this was about my struggles with like mental health. I didn't really want to write a song about mental health only because I didn't feel comfortable. But since I was such in like a very dark time, it's very, no one talks about as a young adult. Like that transition from like 17 to 18 was really brutal. Like you're a kid and then now all of a sudden like here, everything's handed to you. And I felt this amount of pressure. And not to mention in my personal life, I've lost friends, lost relationships, and I was so lost. And with that, the only thing I could really turn to was music, right? And even with that, I never felt really, really comfortable under my skin, growing up. Just to like share, I grew up with a cleft palate, which is basically like a deformity where like a part of my palate doesn't form and I don't have like certain set of teeth. And growing up, it was really hard. Um, like I've always gotten bullied. I've always had like a lot of like hardships. I've always felt discriminated just for my looks. Um, it was horrible. And knowing that and feeling the same way that I did when I was a kid broke me. So I just decided the best thing I'm good at, the only thing I'm good at is pen, paper, guitar. So I started to write a song called All in My Head. And at first I did not want to release it. I didn't want to release it. But I said, there's someone in high school, middle school, that's probably going through the same thing I am. The best thing that I could do is try to reach out to people as much as I can to show them, hey man, I know on the outside I'm this bubbly, joyful, funny person, but I also want to let you know that I wasn't always like this. I wanted to show people like I can be vulnerable, and especially as a man, I can be vulnerable, and I'm very comfortable being vulnerable. So I also filmed a music video for this, it was an amazing experience. I really got to hone in another creative art, which is filmmaking. So yeah, I have really no words to say, but I was really grateful to experience something like that because I'm able to share and hopefully help other people who also are going through the same or have gone through or going through the same situation as me.
Has anybody reached out to you? Like, is that song is already out now, or you're thinking of it's already out? Has anybody Has anybody reached out to you that is going through the same thing?
Yeah, I was really touched at the time because I didn't think people would actually message me personally about it. I think it would just go through their heads. Because it is a very sensitive topic, but I did receive a lot of love for it since here in Guam, especially, it wasn't really talked about. Like mental health is not really talked about. It's kind of like taboo in a sense, which I think is not good. It should be talked about more. Mental health is your wealth. I just felt this, even though it was a very vulnerable song, it was amazing to see the amount of love that I was able to receive from people who went through the same thing. It's kind of as if I just turned a bad situation into a blessing. It felt weird, but it felt good. Yeah.
Okay, so it seems like you are, getting a lot of love and support in your environment, like especially from your parents. But
Yeah.
is there like now that you're talking about, I'm being very sensitive, like talking about this, and I'm glad that it came from you. And now that we're talking about this, like, do you remember the first time that you were bullied? Like, what was it like when, as a little kid, some mean souls made you feel a certain way?
Yeah, I do remember I was in, it started early. I was like five, I was in kindergarten, and a bunch of kids in my class would just like go up to me and just call me names. They'll call me like characters that think that look like me. When I was growing up, I always like heard people call me Voldemort, or they'll like just like tease my nose, tease that I don't have teeth. And it just, at the time when they first said it, I thought it was funny because I thought they're trying to make friends, but they're not trying to make friends. They're really bullying me. And it just sucked because I've always felt when I was younger that I didn't belong with the environment that I was in, because everyone wasn't born with the same situation I was. I was the only kid in my school. And actually, for that matter of fact, I was the only person I knew at the time who had the condition. So I just felt like I had this like one in a million condition because of the way I was treated. Like from like guys like teasing me, physically pushing me too, because they think like, oh, he looks weak. He looks like he can't fight back. Let me just freaking push him to the wall and like make him feel good, or make him feel bad. And especially with growing older, like with the girls, they'll like play pranks on me. Since, I was always deemed ugly, they'll always play pranks on me. They'll say like, oh, I like you. And they'll like make me believe that they like me. And then later on, they'll say, oh, this is a prank. You're actually ugly. And that hurt. My self-confidence was so low because people kept on playing with my emotions and making me feel like I wasn't enough. It sucked, and as a kid, no kid should ever feel like that. That's horrible. I'm really lucky that I had my parents and my grandparents to like just tell me like, just don't mind them, but it still hurt. And being bullied throughout my life really affected my self-confidence. It it's to the point where like I've always complained, I've cried to myself and to my parents, like, why am I born like this? Like, why did God make me like this? Like, why am I put in a situation like this? Like, why can't I just be normal? That was my catchphrase. Why can't I just be normal? But at the same time, I don't regret looking like this because it's a thing that I've leveraged, right? I'm my own person. I'm very unique looking like. So that's easy for me to stand out. So I said, you know what? Never mind what other people say. If I'm ugly, I don't fit the beauty standard. I'll never like be someone. And it's even worse too, because like people will always tell me before, like, oh, I wouldn't want to marry you because my kids might look like you. It was horrible. Like I've heard every single comment that you could possibly say to someone and it just hurt. But I said, you know what? I'm no better fighting back. I'm better elevating myself as an individual and doing my best to just be like, you know what? I'm good at one thing. My parents believe in me. God believes in me. I'm just gonna go 100% on this music thing because that is what makes me feel normal, which is what I've always wanted, is to feel normal. So music made me feel normal and filled that void from my insecurities, which is beautiful.
I wouldn't exactly call it as you're not normal, but I understand what you're saying that when there are some people out there that are just really easy.
Yeah.
It's so easy for them to point their fingers at you and try to point out like what's wrong with what they thought is not right about you. And I'm not just talking about like the physical appearance. I'm talking about like everything else about one person. But when that very first time that you came home crying, telling your parents about, what you felt at that moment, you felt as a little kid that you were bullied. What was their reaction?
They were hurt. No parent wants to see their child crying at all, especially in the situation I was in. Uh, support, just to tell me like everything will be okay. Like show them who you are. You're not that. You're not what they call you. You're better than that. So my parents just tried their best to just, lift me up, lift my spirits up. Yeah.
But right now, how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're still young, really, really young.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, when you talked about the cleft palate, like, did you go through like some type of medical intervention to try to correct it, or not really?
Yes, I went through 4 surgeries already in my life. One when I was a kid, one in 2016, one in 2019, and oh yeah, so only three. Sorry, yeah, three, and it was all just to like repair. The first one was repairing because my situation of cleft palate was really bad because it's a bilateral, so it was like both sides. So I didn't have a lip. It was really open. It was crazy. So they closed it, and the second surgery was to repair my nose because since the cleft palate affected a lot of the top end of my face, my nose was kind of like not there. So they repaired that, and recently I got a palate surgery to repair any like holes or any damages in my palate.
So, are you pretty much done with all of that, or there's still another series that you are going to be doing?
But I believe I need 2 more surgeries. One to cover up this gap in between my teeth with a bone graft, and then the other one is like optional, the rhinoplasty. That's up to me. That's for me to decide later on. But the surgery that is very much needed is that bone graft.
So, if I'm sure there's a lot of people who can relate to your situation, and I'm talking about the whole bullying thing. If there's people right now watching this, like, what can you tell them as a word of advice, especially with what you went through ever since you were a little kid? What can you tell them?
Uh, the only thing I can really tell you, I mean, it's gonna be hard to do this, but don't believe them. It sounds easier said than done, but you just have to don't mind them. You cannot mind them, and you also have to find a good outlet for you to release that anger, whether it's through music, whether it's through sports, martial arts. You always need something to redirect that energy, because if you just keep it in, don't tell no one, and you don't vent it out, it can really be catastrophic. So my advice for people who are getting bullied right now is, one, get solved. Tell someone, please. You're not you're not like less of a person if you're gonna tell a loved one, a teacher, someone. That's not a good cool thing to do. Tell someone, please. Second, try to find something you're good at and be the best that you can be. The more things that you put yourself into, the less emotions you're gonna feel from that person telling you you suck, you do this. Just try to do something that makes you happy and redirect that energy. That's what I would tell them.
Turn something into positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now with the music career that you have, how many people have you like collaborated with? Like the ones who have been around doing this thing?
From the top of my head, two people. One is my homie Straight Up Jug. He's a really big artist here on Guam. He's had a lot of success, and he actually like brought me into the music industry when I was 15. He like discovered me, and he was like, "You're talented. Come here. I'll help you write your song." And that's cool. So I've been working with him ever since. He's like my biggest mentor in the music game. He teaches me everything I know, music related and non-music related. And my other homie Josh Anthony, he was my brother from another mother. Like I met him out of nowhere. Like I met him back in high school, but since he was a older dude, like, I didn't really feel comfortable talking to a senior and a freshman because I'm like, you might. I feel like you're gonna bully me because you're like 17 and I'm 14. But we got older. I matured, and yeah, those are my two like partners. And when it comes to music, we're always at it. We're always trying to make something new. We're always trying to make something. Yeah.
Of all the songs that you came up with that you launched, which one are you most proud of?
It has to be all in my head. It has to be all in my head.
We
Since
have
it was
we have a sample of that song.
Okay. Blind face, why you gotta run from all the pain? Empty space, saying I should run from here to stay. Cause I've been overthinking, can't escape. Baby, I just drown in the rain. Cause I've been overthinking, can't escape. Baby, I just drown in the rain. Cause all in my head, I've been feeling some type of way. Cause all in my head, I've been feeling some type of way. Why you running, running, running? Why you running, running, running? You said that there'll be better days, no I can't look away. You felt to keep me safe. That's a little snippet.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that.
No problem.
Okay, like right now, like what would you say if there's like one thing that you're actually really dreaming of, like a really big thing for you that you want to accomplish music career wise? What and it's gonna happen like right now, what would it be?
Oh, I have two top of my head right now because I've been trying to manifest it. One is to get a producer replacement for a K-pop band. I've been dabbling since I do produce all my songs, so I really wanted to get into that K-pop scene and trying to write a song. Because my friend Straight Up Jug, he got a placement with like a really big K-pop group. I don't know if you're familiar with Twice. He has a placement with Twice. They're really big. They're like a big K-pop group.
I'll look it up after this
They're
one.
like really big. They're like whoa. So one of my goals, it doesn't matter either this year or when I'm 27. I don't know. I really want to get a producer placement on like a big K-pop group or just like any artist. Second is to, I think just the regular like to be successful in music, like with like with the money, with the fame. I just want to be known for my music, and I want to show people too that like even if you don't fit the beauty standard, it don't matter. You can do it with enough like hard work and talent. Like you can go beyond the odds. Like I want to show people like, hey, I may look like this, but I did it. You can do it too. I'm just like y'all. Like
I mean, like your songs, like the very first time that I heard one of the Stay song, I thought it was really, really amazing. Even Greg, like Greg and I would like play it over and over again. But it's really nice to that you are giving me this time to do an interview with you, and I can see that your dad's here. I guess if there's something that you can tell your parents, your dad, like what would it be?
I mean, just to be short and sweet. Thank you. Like thank you for showing me the love and the care that you guys do. If I didn't have this support group at all, I don't think I would be where I am right now. It really honed me as a person. So thank you and love you.
You can go ahead and promote like your songs. I mean, I'm aware that you have your songs on Spotify. Where else can we find your songs?
My name is here. You can just find me anywhere, like on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, anything. Just test your luck. I might be there. Any platform, honestly, I might be there. So just type in my name and you find me. Hey, yeah, yeah, you found me.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me to do this. But I always started the interview that I'm doing here with "Hi, my name is Jenny. This is my voice, Glenn Cash voice. Please do me the honor, Zahir." I thought at first it was like Zaire, because like Xavier is V, so I'm like Zaire. So it's actually Zahir.
Yeah, it's fine. I've had worse. Trust me. It's okay. I've had people like call me Javier. I'm like, there's an X in the front. I don't know how you have Javier, but I guess. So it's fine.
Okay, please do me the honor by doing that. Like, so you would be like, "Hi, my name is Zahir. This is my voice," and then say whatever you want to say about yourself. Something short, short and sweet.
Okay. Do I say bye or hi? Does it matter? Hi? I'll say hi. Okay. I'll say hi. Hi, my name is Zahir and this is my voice. And yeah, continue. Maybe. Oh, wait. Let me do it again. One time. I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Okay, one more time. Hi, my name is Zahir and this is my voice. Continue to write songs about your exes because maybe one day you guys might get back together.
That was awesome. But thank you so much. And John, it's too bad you couldn't join us, but thank you for introducing Zahir to all of us. And I really want to thank your dad because he's always. This was like way back when Clean Catch was still. I mean, right now as it is, Clean Catch. I still consider Clean Catch as a baby channel, but ever since he's always been such a big supporter of Glen Catch, and so is the other Filipino TikTokers. So I do appreciate you, John, and thank you for introducing Zahir to all of us. And your story is very inspiring, and we wish you all the luck in this world. You're very talented. I always tell your dad this. Zahir, your son, is very talented. You're gonna go a long ways. So just like keep up with everything that you're doing. You're really, really talented.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for everybody who engaged in the comment section, everybody who watched the live, and we'll see you guys later.
Thank you guys. Love you all.